Okay, so today what you're going to be doing is you're going to be working on experiment 9. This is the molar volume of a gas lab. So in the lab, you should have this sheet out, the report sheet. We're going to be recording the information in this before we begin the experiment. So first of all, I have a piece of magnesium ribbon that I have cut and measured, and I've wrapped this in the copper wire to create a cage to secure that magnesium ribbon during our experiment. So let me give you a little bit of information about this. First of all, for 1 meter of magnesium ribbon, so length of magnesium ribbons, to record this in your sheet, we know that 1 meter is 2.12 grams. So please record that in your data table. Okay, the length of magnesium ribbon I am using in this experiment is 1.30 centimeters. So record that in your data table also. Okay, so I have this. So now I'm actually going to pour some 3 molar hydrochloric acid into our eudiometer. So this is a eudiometer. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add 10 milliliters of 3 molar hydrochloric acid to our eudiometer. So I have measured out 10 milliliters of 3 molar hydrochloric acid in this graduated cylinder. I'm going to pour this into my eudiometer. And then I'm going to fill the rest of the eudiometer up with water. So I'm going to try to fill this close to the top because I want to make sure there aren't any air bubbles in this. And then I have already made sure that this is going to fall in the right spot in my eudiometer. So I'm now going to insert the rubber stopper with a copper wire attached with the 1.3 centimeter length of the magnesium ribbon. Okay, a little bit of water came out. That's normal. So as you see, there aren't any air bubbles. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to firmly put my thumb over this, and I'm going to flip this over. Sorry about that. I'm now going to clamp this to the ring stand. And then I'm going to make sure I'm keeping my thumb on top of that rubber stopper. And I'm going to insert this into this clamp. And I'm going to put the rubber stopper below the surface of the water. Then I can let go, and I'm going to tighten this up. Hopefully what you can see is as this reaction progresses, we have lots of bubbles being produced. We have been collecting gas at the top of the eudiometer here. So we're going to wait until we don't see any gas bubbles being produced or until the magnesium ribbon is completely gone. So we're going to let this reaction proceed. And you can record your observations of what you're seeing. Okay, I'm not sure if you were able to see that, but the magnesium ribbon actually came out of the wire cage because it's pretty small now. And now the magnesium ribbon is still reacting with our hydrochloric acid, but the magnesium ribbon is at the top, the surface of our liquid. So I'm still seeing bubbles being produced. I know the reaction is still progressing, and we will wait until there is no more magnesium ribbon, or like I said, until we stop seeing bubbles being produced. Because the bubbles that are being produced, the gas that's being produced is actually hydrogen gas. So this is a single replacement reaction between the magnesium and the hydrochloric acid, producing hydrogen gas and magnesium chloride. And what we're going to be doing with this lab is we're going to be measuring the volume of the gas that's being produced. And then we're going to end up verifying how close it is to the molar volume of a gas. And in class, we've been talking about when gases are collected over water. This is one of the situations. We have hydrogen gas that's being collected in our eudiometer, and it is being collected over water. Okay, so the reaction is about done. So I'm just going to pause this for a second, and then we're going to do the next step. Okay, so now we're going to go to the last step of the lab. So what I have here is I have a very large graduated cylinder filled with water. So we're going to use this to equalize the pressure in this tube with the air pressure in the room. So I'm going to put my finger underneath this stopper, and with my other hand, I'm going to unclamp this. I'm getting water all over the place. So I'm trying to make sure nothing escapes from the eudiometer. Okay. And I'm going to put this into the graduated cylinder. So I'm actually going to move this back a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to put this underneath the surface of water. Once it's underneath the surface of water, what I want to do is I want to equalize the level of the water in the eudiometer with the level of the water in the graduated cylinder. So I'm looking at the top, trying to see if I can see the meniscus line up with the meniscus of the water in the graduated cylinder. And then I'm going to read the water reading on my eudiometer. So this part's a little challenging. And that looks like 29.4 milliliters of gas, 29.4. I'm going to write that on a card for you also. Okay, so on this card, I have both the atmospheric pressure today in this room, as well as the volume of gas that we collected, 29.4 milliliters, and 767 millimeters mercury is the atmospheric pressure.